What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I will be looking at the Hothead Challenge that was the Type Benz in San Juan. I do understand this one isn't currently active, but then again, when posting this video, it could probably be up again. This one is going to be similar to the others though, guys, to where it most likely is going to be fairly difficult. Getting in the top 5% though is going to be around 1 minute and 40 seconds, and then if you're looking to get in the top 15%, you're probably going to be around 1 minute and 44 seconds. Now keep in mind, similar to the other ones though, that this can fluctuate a bit, and I would say that's going to probably be like 0.50 seconds or something around that, and sometimes higher or lower depending on that said hothead that is out. Now for this though, guys, I am using the MiTo. Either way, we probably agree though that was probably a terrible joke. But this thing is going to be an absolute monster, guys. This car is so great. Keep in mind though, for this particular one though, you could probably run two different cars. I found the MiTo, or again, MiTo, to be incredibly good for this event. You can also run the TTRS, which is probably not surprising because that car is so dang good in this class. Probably the best one. Besides that though, the MiTo is going to be incredibly good, guys. Like, I did not actually have the Alpha for a while, but I was like, you know what, let me buy this thing and try it out in this event. It turns out, first try I actually used with it, I did manage to get in the top 5%. Was not a great run either, but I still managed to do it. Now, similar to the other cars though, I would like to show you guys the build and the parts I have on it to show you guys exactly what I did. Also, you're probably going to notice something. My car is 497. If we actually go back to the said event here, you're probably going to see, well, it goes up to 500 on the event. So I was like, you know what, let me add some parts to it and get it to around 500. One of the most notable things I did, guys, I bought the semi-slicks for it, which this alone is going to be a lot. Like, I think that was, yeah, so around 20 or so points on just that. So if you do want that, guys, I would definitely recommend it. Helps the car out tremendously. Besides that though, here I have nothing on the intake and fuel, nothing on the ignition valves and camshaft. I actually have the pistons and flywheel on maxed on race. After that though, I have the exhaust on nothing, and then of course my turbo is going to be the anti-lag. Again though, powerful does also work here. Besides that though, moving over to the brakes, I have nothing on the brakes, which makes me over that. You could probably get away with moving it up a bit, guys, but again, if you do that, it's going to bring the vehicle lower. Currently, I'm insanely close to 500 on it. For the suspension though, I'm also going to be stock. You can bring it up, but again though, it's going to bring you above the actual thing you need for the event. For the transmission part of it though, I am currently running the versatile one. I found this one to be a tad better on this car. Yes, you probably could run short, but I just feel like having versatile on there is going to be a great option. You could probably run short on there and then maybe throw on like a different part or something like a level 1, or in this case it is going to be an uncommon part, which you probably could get away with adding one of those on that if you were to put the other transmission kit, but I just don't really see a point because versatile is so dang good. Besides that, on the transmission part, guys, I'm also stock on this one. Moving over to this stock again on the chassis, and the aero kit is going to be maxed on race. This is actually going to make you fairly quick. I did like adding this to it, and again brought me right up to 497. Of course, running these semi-slicks on there, and then the last thing is going to be stock for the ECU. This is going to be a fairly decent build for the MiTo, guys. I love this car. It really is going to be incredibly good in the daily driver. I could tell why people like it. Is it going to be the best car? Well, I would say most people might run the TTRS, which again, you can also run that car on this event. It's still going to do great. If you are wondering though, for the driving modes on this car, guys, I'm currently running top speed, impact resistance, balanced, and hard braking, and of course semi-slick tires. You don't get slicks for this car, which would probably make it insane. You can also have all-road here, dynamic, and sport, which sport is actually going to be incredibly similar to my build, but the difference though, if I go up here and do driving mode, you can do sport. So you're going to have acceleration, balance, top speed. I have stability. I have the impact resistance. Just bringing up that braking just slightly when you're actually using it, which does help. Balanced, and then hard braking besides that is going to be great. Again, I am not running anything on this car, guys, for the main part of the actual build here because the car is still so dang capable of doing the event. Now again though, if you actually wanted to use something a bit more stable, even though this car is front wheel drive, you probably might want to use the TTRS on this event. Luckily though, the Alpha is still going to be a great option. Yes, you can easily get into the top 5%. As I did mention earlier, I did not drive that great on this event. I actually got barely under a minute and 40, right in the top 5%, and I laughed at it because I was like, man, that was terrible. was going around the turns really bad. I was using my e-brake the wrong way. I still managed to get there in time, so at least by showing you don't have to be completely perfect in these events, you can still probably get in the top 5% even with some screw-ups or not going around that corner the best way you could have. At least it's still going to be possible. I might actually end up going in the next time the hothead is active and seeing if I can actually shave off 3 or 4 seconds in the event. Now you're probably going to notice the title of this race is Tight Bends, and let me tell you, it is not kidding. This race is covered in a lot of corners. The best way I found to do this though is you can cut most of them. Even if you guys actually break down those small pillar things, it doesn't slow you down, but the poles will, so do try to not hit those if you can. Even if you have to take the turn a tad tighter, like maybe go around them or even between them, if you can't cut that corner, I would recommend doing that. The other thing I did end up finding with the Alfa, similar to the Mini Cooper with both of these cars being front wheel drive, is do not be afraid to use that e-brake in certain corners. Now I do understand guys when you see the clip in the background, as I did mention I was definitely not doing the best at that, but then again I have never driven the Alfa before, so I will be driving this car a bit more to get a little bit more familiar with it. That way next time this does come out, I won't end up struggling to try to get in the top 5 with it, which wasn't that great of a run, but at least it was still going to be possible messing up the e-brake. But I would actually recommend still trying it out though, because at least on the front wheel drive cars like the Alfa and the Mini Cooper, it does seem to actually help tremendously with getting around those corners and also can make you a lot faster in certain areas. But if you guys have any questions at all regarding this hothead, do let me know in the comments below. And I also want to mention though, I will be doing updated videos on these hothead time attacks in the future. Whether they do end up changing something like the top 5% or the top 15%, even if something insane happens guys and we get a crazy car meta change, I will definitely be making updated videos on that. But again, if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below.